Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today I'm going to do a tag. I was tagged by Lula LV. Hi Lula LV. I'm going to post a link to Lula LV's channel down below. Be sure to subscribe to her channel. And the tag is originated by Tess Lux. So Lula LV was tagged and then Lula LV tagged me. The original tag is called Quietly Returned Luxury Item. It's going to be a bag in my case. Interesting topic because we never really talk about the mishaps. There's always some hidden object that we never spoke about. I have a few. My quietly returned luxury bags. Okay. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob, all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. Push the notification bell to get notified whenever I go live, and then you can catch a live stream, and then we can talk together during the live stream. I have my co-chatters on the sidebar looking at ya. So you guys, okay, Jason says, oh yes, we all have one of these moments, of these like silently, quietly returned luxury items. Now, it's items, but in my case, bags. So, story time, story time, story time. Remember round about 2012 when Louis started, they started before that, but something changed in their online, wait, when did they start their online sales? I can't really remember. But I remember round about 2012, I ordered from their website, and it was not the best experience. But this was before I had my YouTube channel, you see, so I never made a video about this. Now, the second bag I'm going to talk about was during my YouTube channel period. But, so, 2012, I ordered from their website, what did they call it back then? They don't make those anymore. Speedy CL or LC. You do remember those guys? They also used to do them in multicolor when Takashi Murakami was still at Louis. They actually had the white little and the black ones with the monogram, all different colors. Yeah, E-Luxury, baby. Yes. Oh, HL. Was it the HL, Winnie? Yes, the Speedy HL. HL, CL or HL. Well, it was like this big. And they used to have it in white with multicolor, in black with multicolor, and there was the regular monogram, right? So, Louis Vuitton monogram looks like this. Not the bag, just the monogram looks like this. But here's a little Speedy Micro that I have. So you can imagine it's a bag like this. It did not have this strap. It was just the actual bag with the hole, with the little handles, and it was maybe this much bigger. So it wasn't a nano Speedy. It was smaller than a nano Speedy. So anyway, I wanted it. It was cute back then. Oh my god, the price, if I think about it now, I was like, why did I send it back? However, it arrived and it was so poorly constructed. Okay, you know how the Speedy at the top, I mean, this is a micro Speedy, so you can't really compare, but you see how kind of the symbols are aligned? You know, like if there's a flower here, there's a flower there. If there's a circle here, there's a circle here. I mean, you can see, right? Okay. And they're more or less perfectly symmetrical. You know, they're cut off at the same part. Anyway. That particular bag, first of all, the ending, so like let's say if this little diamond was cut off right here at the tip, this one was cut off halfway through. So it felt like the canvas was kind of shorter on one end. And then it was kind of, they were not like mirroring each other. They were like off. So the entire bag was that off. And I could not, you know, because I mean, obviously we buy these pieces also because Louis is good at aligning things, symmetry, proportions, right? Everything was so off. Oh yeah, Jason says it was smaller than the Nano, but it did not come with a strap attached. Exactly, there was no strap, just the handle. And it was so misaligned that I was like, yeah, it surprisingly fit a ton, says Winnie. I know, but anyway. But it was really difficult to send back because, you know, you had to call them. They had to send you via email, like something that you had to print out. Then you have to contact a shipping provider, whatever. You had to like explain to Louis why you're sending it back. They needed to know the exact reason. You had really, I think, less than 14 days. It was like super tight. Like I was so anxious. I was like, oh my God, I got to send this back immediately. I don't want to waste any time. And they made it really hard back then to send it back. And I had to print out the paperwork and I had to prepare it all. They wanted everything to be sent back to them, obviously, as they should. But they were very, very anal back then about where the ribbon has to be, how the package has to, you know, like it really made me feel as a consumer like if I do one little teeny tiny thing wrong, they will not accept the bag back. It was a terrible return process, but I returned it and I got confirmation that they accept the return and I got the money back. But it was like, it just felt really bad. And that caused me some trauma with the online store. And so since then, like for many, many, many years, I did not buy on the Louis Vuitton website anymore. And then just last year, I bought like a key pouch. And even that was a little bit complicated because like the parcel got lost. Looking at you, UPS. But then it was a struggle, but they found it and I got my monogram key pouch. But yeah, ordering online with Louis, not fun for me. I prefer to do it directly in the store. Now the second thing, okay. The second bag, interesting because the Louis example is the example of a brand new purchase. It was a new product purchased directly from Louis. The second quietly returned item was a second-hand purchase. And it was purchased during my YouTube journey. So I already had a channel when I bought that piece, but I never made a video about it. Okay. Now, oh yeah, Winnie, no, you could not take it back to a retail store. If I bought it online, Louis, I had to return it online. I could not take it to the Louis boutique and to the Louis shop and say, here, no. Back then, at least not. All right. So it was on eBay. I was obsessing over the 255. I still love the 255 bag to bits, but that was before I had a leather one. I wanted a jersey 255. And I found a medium sized 255 in jersey, raspberry color. So the interior was in raspberry color leather. Exterior was in raspberry jersey. It had aged gold hardware. The seller accepted PayPal, right? This was back in, I want to say 2014, 2015. And so we're talking 255 back in 2015. They wanted $1,500 for it. So $1,500. Went through eBay. The seller accepted PayPal. They wanted like weird payment. And I said, no, PayPal or nothing. I really have good credentials on eBay. Like I've done, you know, I've been so many years on eBay, not one single negative review. So I'm like, no, you can trust me. Like, I don't trust, like you have to allow me to pay this with PayPal because I need some form of protection as well. You know, 2015 protection on eBay wasn't the best. Things have changed since then, I guess. But anyway, 2014/2015. So they accepted PayPal. So I paid it with PayPal. Now, the photos that the seller sent me of the bag were, you know, the bag seemed in good shape, right? Boy, was I wrong. Now, the seller got the money, sent me the bag. The bag arrived. What I was going to find out later, so keep this in mind, I didn't know that from the get-go, but I was going to find out later, and this is what made my return process, refund process, a nightmare. The seller took the money off of their PayPal account right after I sent them the money. So their PayPal account was at zero, apparently. So the seller receives my money, takes the money off the account. I get the bag. The bag doesn't really match the photos. It's an authentic Chanel 255 raspberry jersey color, but the photos were taken years before the bag was actually sold. It means that the photos show a bag in the better condition than it was. So the bag that I was sent was, let's say, 5 years older than the photos. So what does this mean? There were holes in the bag. The jersey was kind of nibbled on by moths, or maybe it got hooked on something. There were holes at the bottom that were not on the photos. The front pocket was sticky. There was a flight, there was an airfare ticket attached to the inside. I was like, why didn't they even care to look inside the pocket, take the ticket out? It was sticky inside. And the most important thing, which they did not photograph, the bag had an S inside of it. And that was like staff sale, sample sale. So the bag was purchased at a staff sale or sample sale, which means that the bag was around $250. Yes, Chanel does sell their stuff that cheap to their employees. So I contacted the seller immediately and I said, hey, this bag is not in the condition. And now, I was super frustrated. You can imagine, $1,500 down the drain. Yes, I had a YouTube channel, but I was like so frustrated about this. And I felt also so bad about this. I didn't want to make a video back then. I was just disgusted by the situation. I just wanted to send the bag back and just get it over. You know, when you just want to get something over with and you don't want to think about it, you know? So I contacted the seller. I said, this is not cool. Like, I'm sending you the bag back. And then they were like complaining, like, yeah, but this is a used bag. I'm like, but this is not the bag. These are not the photos. The photos don't show all of these flaws. And especially in the description of the bag, it said that the bag was purchased in a Chanel boutique, implying that it was once new. Meaning, they should have written, this is a sample sale bag. This is a staff sale bag. Why am I saying this? Because if you tell me that the bag is a staff sale bag, first of all, that means that they don't give you the card. They take the card away from the bag, and then they put that stamp inside the bag that says, you know, staff sale. So you have to charge less for a bag like that. You can't charge me $1,500. Back then, that was a regular price for a jersey, $255. You know what I mean? I was not like, it wasn't a steal. But I'm like, if it's a sample sale / staff sale bag without its authenticity card, because you don't get the authenticity card if it's a staff sale, they take that away. You don't charge like a full price as if it were a bag that you bought in the boutique new and you have a receipt to it, you know. Obviously, there was no receipt with the bag either. So I was like, listen, I'm sending you the bag back. I want my money back. A little bit of back and forth. They were complaining. I opened a case with PayPal because I'm like, okay, this person is starting to look for trouble. So I opened a case with PayPal. Big problem, because when I opened the case with PayPal, before the seller accepted to return the bag, PayPal, back then at least, considered the situation almost as if it were fraud. So what happens when you do that with PayPal, I don't know if it's still the case today. Today, I don't buy such expensive things off eBay. I never would, and I would never recommend anybody else to do it either. It's way too risky. I would never do this again. And since then, I never did again. But anyway, so this is what happened. Since I opened a case on PayPal because the seller was being a little bit non-compliant about me sending the bag back, I opened the case on PayPal. What does PayPal do? PayPal automatically charges the $1,500 off of the seller's PayPal account. They don't give me the money back because the bag hasn't been sent back yet. But what they did was, apparently, they charged the PayPal account. They wanted to withhold the money from the seller to keep that money locked until the situation is cleared up. But remember what I told you at the beginning. I said the seller took the money off their PayPal account right after they got the money. So now their PayPal account was on zero. But when I opened the case, when PayPal then wanted to secure the $1,500, they couldn't because there was no money on the PayPal account. So that PayPal account went into minus $1,500, which basically created a whole other problem because when you're in back then, I don't know if this is the case still today, but what happened then was the seller needed to first pay into their PayPal account $1,500 to get it to zero. Then they needed to pay another $1,500 for PayPal to take off the account. So PayPal also made that mistake. I mean, it wasn't a mistake. That's how they work. But it was so annoying because then that basically the PayPal account of that seller got blocked. The seller didn't have $3,000 to put on their account to deblock the account and get the $1,500 back to me. So this basically meant that this case was open for way longer than it should have been. In the meanwhile, I sent the bag back. The bag arrived back, but I still didn't get my money because PayPal was waiting for that person to pay in $3,000. Insane. So I think almost 2 months it took for me to get my money back, but here's the twist. Finally, PayPal opened, so when they opened the case, this whole situation was happening, and I know all these details because I was on the phone with them all the time, with PayPal. And they were explaining to me the situation, but they were also being very apologetic, saying, oh, we're so sorry, we can't do anything about it. I'm like, what the hell? But finally, when they sent me my money back, I did not receive $1,500. Oh no. I received something weird like $712.34. I got crazy. I mean, I got a heart attack. I was like, why is PayPal not sending me my money? So I contact PayPal immediately and I tell them, why didn't you send me the entire sum? I paid $1,500 for this bag. Why am I only getting 700 something, 34 cents? And they're like, oh, it must have been some error in our system. We're going to look into it. I'm like, what is there to look into? You see how much the bag cost me. Give me my money back. So then I started speculating that they were doing this because I guess the longer they keep the money in their account, they can profit off of, they can use my money to invest in stuff. So they keep us consumers, okay, waiting 2-3 months for our money while they're investing with your money, playing with your money, doing stuff with your money, and then they don't even pay you back your entire sum. I mean, that should be illegal. I'm sorry. Like, that should be illegal. So then they realized that the mistake, they're like, oh, so sorry for the mistake. Yeah, we'll send you the rest of the money within next 2 weeks. So finally, almost 3 months pass. I got my full amount of money back. And then and there, I vouched to myself, I will never purchase anything off of eBay that costs more than, let's say, $100. Never. And I never have since then. Have I? Oh, I have. When they changed their system for a hot minute, eBay changed their system into, well, first of all, eBay and PayPal bought each other. I think PayPal bought eBay at a certain point. Do you remember when that happened? They merged. So the protection on eBay was the protection on PayPal, the same thing. Then they separated again, but then they also had a certain period of time where if you would buy something off of eBay, the seller would have to send the product to eBay first. eBay kept the money until the product arrived to eBay, and then eBay sends it to you. When the product arrives to you and you're fine with the product, then eBay gives the money to the seller. That period of time was awesome. It worked really well for me because I was super protected. That's when I bought my Louis Vuitton Cherry Keepall. But then they stopped that system because, I don't know, there was some loophole. It was kind of illegal for them to do that, so they had to stop that. And when they stopped that, I stopped buying again. But yeah, just to say, it took me forever to get my money back. It was a terrible situation, but I'm glad I got the money back. I'm just telling you, be very, very cautious when buying online. I really prefer to buy in store, or if possible, to order a product and get it delivered in the store and then pick it up from the store. Like, that option is okay for me as well, but I don't do the big expensive stuff being shipped home. Not anymore. So there's that. Now, thank you so much for tagging me, Lula LV, but also Teslux for tagging Lula LV. I would like to tag everybody who wants to do this video, of course, but obviously my dear friends and fellow YouTubers who I also recommend you go subscribe to. Romina Rose May, do the tag, my love, if you want to. Jesse Style, of course, do the tag if you would like to. Caleb Snell, go girl, you do. You do the tag. You know, is there any quietly returned luxury item or bag that you want to talk to us about? Winnie B, who I see in the chats. Winnie B, you want to do the tag, darling? Do the tag. The real Shakeen, also do the tag if you would like. Zara Justina, if you would like to do the tag, you're also tagged. You know, all the usual suspects. Andre, if you want to do the tag, and everybody else who would like to do it as well. I would love to hear your story time about these bags and stories behind them and why they were so silently returned. And how dramatic or not was the return and the return of the money as well. Thank you so much for watching. Never give up on love and subscribe.